Our next guest is a relationship expert and the author of Relationship Rules, 12 Strategies for Creating a Love That Lasts. Janice Hoffman joins us now via Skype. Hi, Janice, how are you?
Hey, hi. So thanks so much for having me and
Oh, it's really,
from Boulder, Colorado.
welcome. It's our pleasure. And you've sent me this fabulous book. You actually were the first facilitator for the working with John Gray and for Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. And so you've actually trained so many people globally and in the United States. Tell us, what's one of the secrets that differentiates men and women?
Just remembering that we're different and that how we behave in terms of how we process stress or how we want to be forgiven or when we make a mistake and when we're having an art, whatever it may be, that we're different in how we react. We're different in how we use the English language. We're different in how we want to process our stress. What we like to get as gifts, men like practical gifts, women like anything that isn't practical. And just remembering that we have differences and it's not expecting your partner to be like you. It's probably the first biggest step that a couple can take.
And most people don't remember that, which gets them into so many different arguments. And you have a step in here that actually tells couples when they're in that argument to kind of take some time out. Can you talk? What I love about this book, and this is your Relationship Rules, what I love about this book is that it has steps, rules, but then it also speaks to the man and it speaks to the woman because, again, there's that differentiation that we need to get. So what does it mean to take time out, and how does a man and a woman do it differently?
Yeah, that's rule number 9. Know when to take a time out. And so many couples can probably relate to this. I know I did it in my marriage where you start arguing, you end up saying things you don't mean, you have this idea in your head because your mother, like my mother, told me never go to bed angry.
Right.
And so you had to make up and really know when to take a time out so that you don't say the things that you're going to regret later, the things you can't take back, the things that maybe she's going to remember forever and bring up at another time in another argument. And so taking a time out gives each of you an opportunity to have some time to cool down, think about what happened. The main thing about knowing when to take a time out, especially for a woman, is setting a time to come back and talk about what was going on. Because if you just take a time out, a woman feels like he's just getting let off the hook.
Right.
But when she knows that she's going to have that time to come back and say what's on her heart, then she's more willing to take that time out.
So what you're saying is that it not only is it important to take time out, but it's important to remember to then go back and revisit the issue or the situation that they're having some challenges with.
Right. It's so much easier to hear once you've calmed down and been able to think about how you contributed to the problem or the argument, how they contributed to the problem or the argument, and get a much more mature adult perspective on it, and then come back and say, well, this is how I was feeling, and I apologize for my part, and just be more mature and responsible about it.
Now, Janice, I think that's so very essential to relationships and to getting along. You also teach a lot about how to keep passion alive. How do couples keep passion alive in their relationship, whether they've just started out or they've been married or coupled for many, many years?
Well, and that's the thing. When we meet somebody, we have those honeymoon hormones kick in. Well, sometimes you get cooking.
Yeah.
From the first 6 to 9 months, our partner can do no wrong. And after about 6 to 9 months, then we start getting more comfortable with each other and their habits come out. And what happens is we don't look at them the same. And what we need to remember, I think most importantly, is that sometimes we do things for ourselves, sometimes we do things for our partner, and sometimes we just do it for the relationship. Maybe we're upset with our partner and we're not ready to forgive them, but we can say, I'll work on forgiving you for the sake of the relationship. Instead of having it be just, I win, you win. You get your way or I get my way. One of us loses.
So it's not about having that battle or having that one-upmanship, as you're saying. It's really about remembering that you have to keep the relationship alive, the passion alive that you're saying, and to do so, you really have to be able to think how to salvage the relationship. And maybe, again, it's not winning or losing, right?
It's absolutely not about winning or losing. It's about creating a win-win. And my book is all about creating a win-win because it never has to be, I got my way, you didn't. That creates resentment. That creates withdrawal from We never want to create a situation in our love relationship where we're withholding our love from somebody. And men today are actually withholding their love because they're afraid of doing something romantic or nice for their partner and then having it thrown up in their face later if they don't do more of it, or they didn't do it right, or whatever the case may be. And so rather than do it at all, they'll
right.
just do
And
it.
women are notorious for doing that. We have a long laundry list that goes back years and years and years, and we never forget what you did. So remember, right? So, but it's not like you say in your book. Don't bring it up. You also do a program, Janice, globally and for teens, which I think is so important because it's about relationships. Just tell us a little bit about that. We have a little bit of time.
That's where my heart really lives with the teens, because they have nowhere to learn relationship and dating skills. I mean, imagine when you were 17, 18 years old, you didn't know what I was thinking. I didn't know the difference between love and sex. No one ever explained those things to me. They teach you about the anatomy of having sex, but nobody tells you your relationship or dating skills. And so I created a program called Get Smart Dating. It's a 2-hour program. I go into high schools and I present it to juniors and seniors primarily. And it's really games. We play a dating game, we do skits, and they tell each other what they're thinking at that stage so that they understand why a guy doesn't call when he says he will.
Get Smart Dating, and also Relationship Rules. Get a hold of Janice Hoffman. And thank you so much, Janice. Read this book because it's so chock full of really important information to keep love alive. You've been wonderful. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Are you looking to get healthier this summer? When we come back, Erica Rinwald, registered dietitian, has smart advice on healthy nutrition to match your personal lifestyle. Kickstart your change to better eating in a few moments.